Hey YouTubes, welcome to this channel. This is usually just to enjoy watching videos, and it still kind of will be. But about 3 weeks ago I started to develop a game called Soulbonded, which I started purely out of hobby, and today I thought, maybe someone finds this interesting to see being developed, might give me suggestions, ask questions, maybe also get inspired to learn to code and develop games. Being inspired to code and write software caused me to find a fun job, which I'm happily working at for 3 years now. So feel welcome and enjoy me explaining what this is and what I'm doing with Soulbonded. Soulbonded is not my first game. Not that I've ever released a game I made into the public, but I've always found myself spending weeks, maybe months at a time, working on an idea, just for me to take a break. And then come back and question why I would ever think that game idea would ever be interesting enough for someone to actually play. That question usually dulled out my previous frenzy for the project and made me start from scratch. This happened about 5 times before. I thought about why I seem to start from scratch every time, and I think I have an answer. Starting from scratch is exciting. You get all freedom to try out new stuff and work on new interesting systems. It feels fresh. And it's almost like going outside for the first time when you arrive to your vacation destination. And being completely fair, never having finished a game does not feel like a disappointment. I got to practice a lot. I spent time working on my ideas, my strategies, and my coding skills. So if you ever find yourself ditching a project and feeling a little bit guilty or disappointed about it, don't be. You're just doing this for fun, right? At least I am. And in the process, you get to try a lot of new stuff. I also got to find out what about game development I actually enjoy. And it's working on the actual coding side of the game. Building special little systems that, for example, allow for your player to move. I'm very picky in what I'm satisfied with, and therefore get completely lost in my train of thoughts when I'm working on a complex bit, and lose track of time. When I start at 7 o'clock, I keep going until it's like 2 a.m. It brings me into a flow-like state, and there's just nothing these days that comes close. Getting back to the subject of Soulbonded. What is Soulbonded? Well, what an amazing question. It is supposed to be a post-apocalyptic survival puzzle game where you are together with your dog, Smelly Butt. I'm desperate for name ideas, by the way. Smelly Butt is probably the worst name you could give a dog. Dogs are special creatures, man's best friends, and in Soulbonded, it is your only real way to survive. Since there are monsters which you as a player cannot see, but Smelly Butt can, and it will warn you about them. Ignoring its warnings is not wise, since these invisible creatures will 100% insta-kill you. So running away will be your only real way to survive. In this game, you as a player are stuck within a mountain range valley. And there is only one way out, a tunnel, which is blocked. The hydraulic doors opening the tunnel are broken. So you have to find means to repair those doors to exit. What actually needs to be replaced and repaired will differ each time, and therefore replaying this slow-paced survival puzzle game will allow for a different experience each time. Soulbonded is heavily inspired by The Good Dog, Phasmophobia, and Lethal Company. And honestly, it doesn't feel like a difficult game to develop. At least, I think so for now. So, what has happened? Well, in the background a lot of things happened. I've spent about 8 hours in this game right now. As I said, I'm very picky. So it looks kind of like nothing yet, which is okay. It's a start, I said before. It's when I started developing this game because I wanted to develop something. So what have I done? Well, I downloaded the docs assets, I downloaded my character assets. As you can see, this is the character. The hair matches the outfit, but it doesn't matter. You won't see your hair, so you will only see your outfit. When you load into the game, you can change the color of your outfit. There's no benefit, it's just pretty. So you can make it pink, or you can make it green. You can make it army-like if you want. It's just for your preference. You can also change the skin color if you want. I'm not sure if I want to do an RGB skin. Let me know. I think it's fine, but maybe just keeping it a little human-like is better. I did some code with this stuff, this little guy. The animations are from the pack, which I downloaded. I will probably put a link in the video if you want to download them yourselves. And I've been busy with its roaming behavior and its following behavior. So it will roam around you in a circle for about 3 meters. It will choose a random location based on a timer. So every 5 to 12 seconds it will change when it reached the previous target. And when you start moving, it will follow you. And when you're far away, it will move to you very quickly. And when you start running away, it will start running with you and actually catch up with you and go in front. And the reason why it goes in front is because the enemies are invisible. You can't see them. So when you run very fast, you will bump into them and die instantly. So I chose to put the dog in front so he can warn you about when you reach a creature. And when you stop, it will come back. It will look at you like, what the fuck, why did you stop? And then start roaming again. I think it's pretty neat. So that's what's happened so far. Probably gonna spend doing the interaction with the dog, because I saw that there was an asset which I linked here playing, and when you do that, it will start to do that, which is fun, right? So I want to do it when you maybe level up, when you maybe pet your dog, when you maybe interact with your dog. It will probably do that behavior or do that animation when you make it excited. Let me know if you want other animations, like rolling over. I will probably make them a lot later in development than earlier, because I want to stick to the basic assets, because it's faster. And I want to make the world and make the pickup logic and make the hydraulic door logic and the repairing logic and the creature logic. So after that, maybe the fun customization things will get on schedule. But right now it's keeping it simple, keeping it easy to develop. And maybe I will finally finish this game. Thank you for watching the video. If you find this interesting or have questions or suggestions, then let me know. The more this video gets interacted with, the more I will probably make me engaged with it. So have a good going and see you on part 2.